The NFL loves to schedule marquee matchups for Week 1 to kick off a season, and this year is no exception. On Sunday, September 7th, the Pittsburgh Steelers will visit the New York Jets. That means Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers' new starting quarterback, will be taking on the last team he played for on its home turf in North Jersey. One has to figure that he'll experience some emotions before and during this contest. But Rodgers downplayed the meeting, calling it one game out of 17, during an appearance on Mad Dog Sports Radio. "Probably nowhere near where it might be made out," Rodgers said. "A lot has changed over there, coaching staff-wise, player-wise. Obviously I have friendships over there, but it's one game out of 17. At 5 o'clock Eastern on that Sunday, it's only going to be on to the next game. That's just the way it is." Rodgers spent his first 18 seasons in the NFL with the Green Bay Packers, and while there, he cemented himself as one of the greatest signal callers in football history. But his tenure with Green Bay didn't end very well, and he was traded to the Jets during the 2023 offseason. There was initially excitement and hype surrounding his arrival in the New York City area, and some picked the Jets to reach the Super Bowl. But he tore his Achilles on their first offensive series of 2023, and last year, despite staying healthy, he started to look long in the tooth. Rodgers said earlier this summer on The Pat McAfee Show that 2025 will likely be his final season in the NFL. He would undoubtedly love to end it with a second Vince Lombardi trophy, but the Steelers, as presently constituted, are very unlikely to go all the way. But they do have a strong defense that includes a couple of promising young prospects, and they should therefore, at the very least, be competitive this season. Rodgers threw for 3,897 yards and 28 touchdowns last season as the Jets went 5-12 and missed the playoffs. His 90.5 passer rating was the lowest it had ever been during a full season in which he was a starter, and his 6.7 yards per pass attempt was tied for the lowest figure in that category in a full season as a starter. The Minnesota Vikings have just 4 cornerbacks on their roster as of August 31st, and while that's likely to change, they might want to consider adding one young DB in particular. Beanie Bishop is currently tucked away on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad, but he's the kind of player who doesn't stay hidden for long. For a Vikings team thin at corner and built around Brian Flores' demand for aggressive, playmaking defensive backs, Bishop should be on the Vikings' radar. What makes Bishop such an intriguing option is the fact that he's already proven he can climb every rung of the ladder, from overlooked recruit to college All-American to playmaker in the NFL. The Vikings don't just need another body at corner, they need someone with upside who won't shrink in big moments. Bishop's history shows that when given an opportunity, he has consistently delivered. Let's break down why the Vikings should poach him from the Steelers. A look at Bishop's journey to the NFL. At Western Kentucky, Bishop steadily built a reputation as a scrappy corner who refused to back down from anything or anyone. He logged 76 tackles, 12 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions across 36 games for the Hilltoppers before transferring to Minnesota for a single season in 2022. His true breakout came the following year at West Virginia, where Bishop turned into a consensus All-American. He led the nation in passes defended, 24, picked off 4 passes, and racked up 67 total tackles. Despite putting up solid numbers, Bishop went undrafted in 2024. That didn't stop him from making an immediate impact with the Steelers, though. He made the 53-man roster, played all 17 games, starting 6, and finished with 45 tackles, 7 passes defended, and 4 interceptions, including a memorable stretch in October where he intercepted Aaron Rodgers twice in one primetime game. That run earned him NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month honors, showing he wasn't just another camp body, but a legit contributor who could hold his own against top competition. That's partly why his getting cut came as a shock to many fans and analysts. Minnesota Vikings should sign CB Beanie Bishop off Steelers' practice squad. Bishop has quick feet, is sticky with his coverage, and has decent instincts, and that's what defensive coordinator Brian Flores likes in his DBs. Bishop isn't just a coverage guy either. His willingness to play downhill and mix it up in the run game also matches what Flores asks of his nickel corners. The Vikings went light at corner on cutdown day, carrying just 4 on the 53-man roster, a razor-thin number for a league where nickel and dime looks are essentially base defense. Byron Murphy Jr. and Isaiah Rodgers are capable starters, but depth behind them is shaky at best. Bishop would give them an instant option in the slot, and he could also contribute on special teams, which makes him even more valuable as a game-day active. Practice squad players can be signed to any team's active roster, with only a 3-week salary guarantee. For a 25-year-old who has already produced in both college and the NFL, signing Bishop feels like a no-brainer for the Vikings. The possibility of the Pittsburgh Steelers adding another receiver before the start of the 2025 NFL regular season continues to be a discussion point around the team. But the organization hasn't given a lot of indication that such a move is going to happen. The latest example of that being the case is with veteran wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported Thursday that Bourne is scheduled to visit with the San Francisco 49ers and Washington Commanders next week. Rappaport made no mention of a potential visit with the Steelers. Free agent Wr. Kendrick Bourne is visiting the 49ers on Monday and Commanders on Tuesday, source said. Rappaport tweeted, "The framework of a deal is in place for both, just in case." Free agent Wr. Kendrick Bourne is visiting the #49ers on Monday and #Commanders on Tuesday, source said. The framework of a deal is in place for both, just in case. Bourne is a free agent since the New England Patriots released him Wednesday. The Patriots initially kept Bourne on their 53-man roster, but the team had 8 receivers, which they reduced to 6 the day after the league's roster deadline. Bourne dealt with a foot injury during training camp and missed the preseason. But NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported Wednesday he is healthy and ready to play for another organization. In 8 seasons, Bourne has posted 292 catches, 3,714 receiving yards, and 22 touchdowns. He's amassed about $28.4 million in career earnings. But he doesn't appear to be an option for the Steelers. Steelers not interested in signing Wr. Kendrick Bourne? It's not completely clear whether the Steelers inquired about hosting Bourne for a visit and the receiver declined, or if the team simply hasn't expressed any interest. But regardless, Bourne starting the 2025 season in Pittsburgh seems unlikely. The 30-year-old receiver might not move the needle a ton for his next team, but he will bring 8 years of NFL experience with him. Last season, Bourne posted 28 catches for 305 yards. While those are modest numbers, the Steelers only have 2 wideouts on their active roster who posted at least that amount of yardage during 2024. Bourne spent the past 4 seasons with the Patriots. His best statistical year with the team came in 2021 when he had 55 catches for 800 yards. Over his 4 seasons in New England, Bourne averaged about 39 catches and 486 receiving yards per year. Bourne began his career as an undrafted free agent for the 49ers in 2017. In 4 seasons with the 49ers, he had 137 receptions, 1,945 receiving yards, and 11 touchdowns. Steelers have high expectations for Wr. Roman Wilson. Outside of quarterback Aaron Rodgers recruiting veteran wideout Marquez Valdes-Scantling after his release from the Seattle Seahawks, the Steelers haven't shown a lot of interest in the receiver market recently. That could be because of the confidence the organization has in second-year wideout Roman Wilson making an impact during 2025. Steelers insider Mark Kaboly discussed Wilson on Friday when talking about the team's breakout candidates on 93.7 The Fan. "I think the Steelers, if they had a vote in this, they would pick Roman Wilson," Kaboly said on his daily show. "I've never seen a front office or a scouting department inside that, not even talking about players, that have such high hopes for a guy more than they do Roman Wilson. It's just Roman Wilson, Roman Wilson. I mean, the other day was like, watch out for Roman. I'm telling you, trust me, Roman Wilson." Wilson will enter Week 1 as a second-team receiver behind starters DK Metcalf and Calvin Austin III. The Steelers also have wideouts Scotty Miller and Ben Skowronek on the 53-man roster. That group has caused a lot of pundits to argue the Steelers should make an addition like Bourne. But while other teams pursue free agent wide receivers, the Steelers have sat mostly idle on the sideline.